Welcome to the 2020 commencement ceremony of Illinois Central College. I'm Dr. Sheila Quirk-Bailey, President of ICC. Ordinarily, I'd be up on a stage addressing an audience full of excited graduates, supportive family and friends, proud ICC community members, engaged alumni, and the general community. Instead, today we find ourselves around our computers, logged into Facebook Live in order to celebrate in the safety of our homes and with our loved ones. While these are unprecedented times, there's never been more of a reason to celebrate. In fact, we have 2,142 reasons to celebrate, which is how many students have qualified for graduation and completed their requirements for the summer of 2019, the fall of 2019, spring 2020, and summer 2020. Of our 2,142 graduates, the ages range from 17 to 71. 35 have earned a perfect 4.0 GPA. Another 120 have a grade point average of 3.75 or higher. 608 have received an associate in arts degree. 146 will receive an associate in science degree. 445 will receive an associate in applied science degree. 162 will receive a general studies degree. 13 will receive an engineering science degree. And 903 will receive at least one certificate, with 92 of those students receiving more than one certificate and/or degree. Since 1967, ICC has awarded more than 72,000 degrees and certificates, and it has touched over 500,000 lives. However, today is really more than just statistics and data. It is a celebration of the people behind all of those numbers. Today, we are celebrating graduates like Brenna Lindsay, who is receiving her degree in radiography. Brenna has been working 2 full-time jobs when she came to ICC. She shared that I realized working 2 full-time jobs was not how I wanted to live the rest of my life. She decided to continue her education at ICC and was accepted into the program. Now, my dream of becoming a radiographer, she states, is coming true. Congratulations, Brenna. We're also celebrating those of you like Tori Larrabee, who at age 18 is earning both her diploma from Morton Community High School and her associate's degree from ICC. What a great achievement, Tori. Congratulations. Or like Veronica Lee, who's worked incredibly hard during her 2 years here at ICC. She said, "Growing up with ADHD, I was never that honor society kid. Now, the fact that I'm in the Honor Society at ICC is pretty amazing." Veronica is majoring in psychology and transferring to Bradley University, where she intends to go on to get her master's degree and eventually a PhD. Congratulations, Veronica. And although we are celebrating differently this year, we hope that you will look back and proudly remember this time as being one of unquestionable triumph, a time when you endured, you overcame, and you succeeded. You are resilient. To help build resiliency throughout life, Dr. Dennis Chari, a world expert in neurobiology, penned a resilient prescription in which he identified 10 key factors in resiliency. I'd like to share my top 3 with you now. Number 1, practice optimism. Resilient people have a realistic understanding of what's happening around them and they continue to believe that tough times will pass. Do your best to stay positive and hopeful in the reality of any situation, and especially as we all face this pandemic together. Number 2, develop acceptance and flexibility. Having the ability to adapt your thinking to a new situation is of great importance, as you've had to learn over the last semester. And number 3, laugh deep and often. Be sure to find something or someone to help you laugh and to keep life fun. We only live once. Enjoy it and smile. Speaking of resiliency, I'd like to take a minute to share one of our graduate stories with you. Adobe Ujari decided to change her career 5 years after earning her first bachelor's degree. Upon acceptance into ICC's registered nursing program, she began attending classes and working multiple part-time jobs, all while caring for her infant daughter. Adobe said it was insanely difficult. And in addition to working nonstop, I also had to donate plasma, sell clothes, sell shoes, all to pay my tuition, my rent, and daycare. My motivation waned, and I doubted myself, and I wanted to give up again. I've pulled all-nighters. I've fallen asleep with my face on a textbook. I've gotten perfect exam scores and not so perfect exam scores. But I found the solidarity with fellow non-traditional students who also found ICC to be the best decision for their future. Now, Adobe has accepted a residency position with Unity Point Health. Upon passing her bar exam, she'll start her dream career as a registered nurse. Congratulations, Adobe. You are a resilient inspiration to all of us. And I would be remiss if I didn't recognize those of you in our audience who were the first one in your families to attend college. You have overcome many barriers, and you truly understand what resiliency is. Please know that we're all incredibly proud of you as well. And to all our graduates, continue growing in resiliency and keep it with you as you forge into the future. Whether you decide to join the workforce or to transfer to a four-year institution, it will serve you well throughout your life. Now, I'd like to ask all the graduates to grab your hand clappers included in your commencement celebration box. You can join me in using these as a fun way to thank those who have supported you during your educational journey. First, please take a moment to thank those closest to you, your parents, your spouses, children, and family and friends. Let's give them all a hand. Now, let's recognize those who've worked diligently to prepare you for this important day. They are the ones you may remember most from college: the faculty, staff, and administrators. They are the ones who inspired comments from last year's graduates, such as, "I would never have completed my degree without their help," or "I failed this class at a university, but got an A at ICC because the people at ICC believed in me." Let's give all of the faculty and staff at ICC a hand as well. I'd also like to recognize the ICC Board of Trustees. Our trustees are elected by the voters of this district and serve as the governing board of Illinois Central College. We so appreciate their commitment to the college and most of all to our students. I am fortunate to serve alongside them. Our trustees include our board chair, Carl Cannon, Kelly Daniels, Paula Davis, Mike Everett, Diane Lamb, Dave Mingus, Gail Thetford, and our student representative on the board, Courtney Privia. Thank you to our trustees for their time, their dedication, and their service. At this time, I'd like to ask Dr. Rita Ali, Vice President of Workforce, Diversity, and Career Development, to join me in presenting the 2020 Student of the Year Awards. Dr. Ali.
Thank you, Dr. Quirk-Bailey. We have 2 students to recognize for the Student of the Year Awards. One award recognizes a student who is seeking a transfer degree, and the other award recognizes a student who is seeking a non-transfer degree. In addition to being nominated by an ICC faculty or staff member, the students were required to submit a resume and 2 letters of recommendation, as well as an essay on how ICC changed their life. These students were selected based upon scholastic achievement and have been consistent in participating in campus activities, service projects, and community-related events. In addition, they made satisfactory progress toward meeting goals and displayed exceptional standards of character. It is my pleasure to introduce our Student of the Year Award winners. Our first winner, the 2020 Certificate Student of the Year, is Kendra McGrath. Kendra has taken classes at ICC over the last 5 years for personal enrichment while working, maintaining a household, and raising young children. Kendra is completing the Nursing Assistant Certificate Program with the intention of continuing in the nursing program here at ICC. Kendra was selected for many positive attributes that make her an ideal student. Her instructors appreciated her skills from an academic and career perspective. One instructor said, "She demonstrates caring behaviors consistent with nursing care, a spirit of inquiry, and a strong work ethic." She continues to develop her critical thinking process and adapts her care according to patient needs. Another instructor stated, "Kendra approached the course not just as a step toward her career goals, but also as an opportunity to expand her horizons and gain knowledge and skills to apply to an unknown future." They also spoke highly of Kendra's character, describing her as thoughtful, caring, and always ready to help others. While Kendra has never been short on energy or enthusiasm, she had felt a lack of direction. A clear picture of her future took shape after working with her ICC Health Careers Advisor, Bridget Kelly, who Kendra describes as simply amazing. ICC has taught me so much and helped me figure out my dream career. There aren't enough words to help explain my experience and appreciation for ICC, says Kendra. Congratulations, Kendra McGrath. Our second winner, Stephen Josiah Lohr, is our 2020 Transfer Degree Student of the Year. Josiah is also the recipient of the Presidential Transfer Scholarship to Bradley University, where he plans to continue his studies. He is completing his Associate in Arts in Music at ICC and plans to pursue a bachelor's degree in music education at Bradley. Instructors who nominated Josiah noted that he is an exceptional student, stating, "Josiah Lohr's strong work ethic, commitment to his education, and leadership both on campus and in the community make him an excellent nominee for ICC's Student of the Year." Instructors described Josiah as present, responsible, encouraging, and helpful, and noted he was always ready for a challenge and he brought enthusiasm to the learning environment each class period. Such abilities will undoubtedly be an asset to Josiah throughout the rest of his college career and in other aspects of his life. Josiah is a familiar face on the East Peoria campus. He has been a member and section leader of ICC Vocal Jazz and ICC Chamber Singers, and a member of Phi Theta Kappa. He also worked as a consultant in the Academic Support Center, assisting other students with skills in English, writing, and research. Josiah has a passion for suicide prevention and mental health care for LGBTQ youth and volunteers for this cause in our community. Josiah believes the best way to effect positive change for today's youth, specifically minority youth, is to be present in their lives and to be the change I want to see. His goal of a career in music education fits perfectly with his desire to positively influence others. Congratulations, Josiah. And now, please welcome Vice President of Academic Affairs, Dr. Emmanuel Awuah, who will announce our faculty awards. Dr. Awuah?
Thank you, Dr. Lee. Illinois Central College depends on its many outstanding faculty members to achieve its mission, which states, through learning, minds change. We believe by changing minds, we can change the world. Today, we honor two of these outstanding faculty members. Students nominate their instructors for this honor, and those student nominations are the basis for selecting the award winners. Our Teaching Excellence Award recognizes an outstanding part-time faculty member. This year's honoree is Jonathan Parker, who is an adjunct faculty member in the Humanities Department. Mr. Parker was commended by students for his enthusiasm and love for the subject matter, and also for his genuine concern for the success of his students, noting he goes out of his way to make sure that every student understands the material and that everyone is doing okay. He tries his best to accommodate all students and make sure they pass. Students also noted that Parker does more than teach the subject matter. He truly embodies ICC's mission to change lives through learning, as this recommendation reveals. Jonathan Parker has been one of the most influential teachers I've had in my life. He genuinely cares about his students, and it definitely shows in his classes. He has taught us to look at the other side and come at problems from all sides. This is a great skill to have in law and political science and as an American citizen. Congratulations, Mr. Parker. The award for full-time faculty is called the Gallion Award, named in memory of Jean Gallion. Professor Gallion was a beloved instructor of geology and geography and was the 1969 co-recipient of what was then called the Outstanding Teacher Award. This year's Gallion Award winner is Titania Vargas, faculty member in the Humanities Department. Professor Vargas has been teaching Spanish at ICC since 2004. She holds a master's in education degree from Carthage College in Wisconsin. Students say she's always willing to go the extra mile to help us understand the material and the culture. She takes the time to meet with us about concerns and information we are having a hard time grasping. Students nominating Professor Vargas mentioned her knowledge depth of the Spanish language, her sensitivity to the challenges of learning a second language, her friendly, approachable nature, and most of all, her heartfelt concern for the success of her students, as this recommendation demonstrates. Professor Vargas has gone above and beyond to help her students succeed. She's passionate about her job and really cares about her students and what they are going through. Even when passing in the hallway, she engages in friendly conversation and asks if I have any questions. If we have problems, she makes time to meet with us, even outside of her office hours. She does her best to resolve the issue and increase our confidence in the class. Congratulations, Professor Vargas.
Thank you, Dr. Awuah. Illinois Central College's commencement speaker is no stranger to this institution or to Central Illinois. Kim Blickenstaff, a 1972 graduate of ICC, has used his education here as a launching pad to tremendous career success in the biotechnology and medical device fields, only to come back nearly 50 years later to share his vision and energy and uncommon generosity with our region. The seeds for his many achievements were planted in his hometown of Spring Bay. They sprouted nearby at East Peoria Community High School and were further nourished here at Illinois Central College. At Loyola University in Chicago, Blickenstaff earned his bachelor's and master's degrees. After relocating to California, he got in on the ground floor of pioneering companies in the medical device industry, before ultimately landing the Tandem Diabetes Care, where he served as the president and CEO and is currently the chairman of the board. Blickenstaff has also made quite a splash back here in Central Illinois with multiple investments and philanthropic contributions. In Peoria Heights, he's opened the Betty Jane Brimmer Center for the Performing Arts and plans to construct a boutique hotel, along with reimagining the Al Fresco Park. In Peoria, he is revitalizing treasured landmark structures like the Scottish Rite Cathedral and the Armory. In Spring Bay, his plans for the recreational Sankote Lakes Resort and Retreat are now being realized. Thank you so much, Kim, for teaching us that someone who was raised and educated in Central Illinois can have great success anywhere in the world, largely because of the lessons and values installed right here early on in Central Illinois. Illinois Central College is proud to welcome back the 1972 graduate, Kim Blickenstaff.
Good afternoon, graduates of Illinois Central College. I'm Kim Blickenstaff. I myself am a 1972 graduate of the college. I went to ICC when it was in the temporary campus out on Dingledine, so it was a far more modest time. But this was a very important step for me to have gotten my associate's degree from Illinois Central. And today I want to talk about how I got to where I am. You know, I don't want to tell you what to do, but I want to tell you how I think I did it. Looking back, I had a series of what I would call life tenets, and these are basic elements of a philosophy I had about how I wanted to get to where I have gotten to in my life. So I've looked back at them. I think there's 8 of them. But as a background, when I was a young student entering in 1970, I read Ben Franklin's 13 Virtues. And it's a very interesting map that he created when he was a young man. And he put these virtues on cards, and he lived those virtues every day. And as you know, he became a very successful scientist, statesman, ambassador, and a very important figure in the history of America. So I sort of took some of those elements and I lived them, but I didn't write them down like Ben Franklin did. But I'm giving them to you today because looking back, I realized I did do some of these things that he did, and I did live by my own life tenets. So my first tenet is to have expectations. When you graduate from high school, suddenly you're out on your own. Your parents' expectations may not be yours. You have to set them and work to achieve them. It's important to have them. Expect to be successful, and every day work to try to achieve some element of that success. It's very important. You need to set the bar for yourself. I tend to set mine pretty high. There is the risk of failure, but you learn by failure. You may not achieve to the maximum degree that you want, But if you get close, you're going to feel this feedback loop of, I did that. My second tenet is find your passion and find it early. Whatever you're passionate about, I happen to have been passionate about business, and I'll talk more about that. But find your passion, and I'd have to say when I went to Illinois Central College, I felt liberated from high school. I had the ability to choose my own course curriculum. It was a sense of freedom, and so I had this sort of a new passion for learning new things, pushing myself to go in directions I hadn't gone before in high school because it was required of me. My career goal when I started ICC was to become an attorney. And so I prepared with pre-law at ICC, and then I transferred to Loyola. But during that time frame, I set up the expectation that I was going to go to Loyola and after I graduated Illinois Central College. And I worked with the placement office. I met the requirements that Loyola had. I got the proper GPA. And actually, when I graduated and got my degree, it was not only that I got my degree from ICC, is that I got entry into Loyola, which was my next passion in life, was to become an attorney, and that was my path. My next tenet, third one, is what I call the left turn. I made a left turn in my life. I went all the way through undergraduate, wanting to be an attorney. And I was in the resident assistant or resident advisor program at Loyola. So it was a dean level organization with only students that had the highest grade point averages. We had graduate students and law students in our program. So I got a chance to see both lawyers and business people in school. And what I realized after my time as a resident assistant, those folks around me who saw what I was capable of doing said, I'm better suited to business than I was to law. And I began to sort of proctor classes. I went to law school classes, I went to business school classes. And indeed, I learned something at that point in time I didn't know about myself, which is I was more comfortable working in groups and being a leader on team type projects. And the law really was almost a single-tary kind of a practice. You worked alone or in small teams, but it was sort of a zero-sum game. I would win a case, you would lose a case, and I didn't really thrive on that. That wasn't really my passion. So I made the left-hand turn, and I took the business school entrance exam, and I got in. I hadn't really taken much in the way of accounting. I had some economics and that sort of thing. So I had to learn business, but what they recognized is I had these leadership skills, and that was going to be my new passion. The next tenet I have is turning weaknesses into strengths. And at that time, I wasn't quantitative. I was in the liberal arts program, pre-law. My strengths were reading, debating, thinking, writing, that sort of thing. But when it came to accounting, came to numbers, financial analysis, I'd never done that before, and that was very sort of scary for me. So I pushed myself to turn that weakness into a strength. I worked hard at learning accounting. In fact, I passed the CPA exam after I finished up my business degree at Loyola. And so I made what I perceived as a weakness into a strength, and my sense of accomplishment from having done that further strengthened me on my path with my passion to be successful in business. My next tenet is mentors and peers. If I hadn't had mentors at Loyola and peers who showed me the difference between the two career paths that I possibly could take, I wouldn't have made the choice I took. And it's very important for you to find mentors in your career. They're ahead of you and can help you in those steps to get to where they are. It's also important to surround yourself with peers who have expectations, have a passion, have a pathway. It may be different than yours, but surrounding yourself with people that are on that path and having mentors who can help you get to where you want to go is a very important element of what you're going to need to be successful. My next tenet is called persevere. You're going to be faced with many challenges in your life and in your career. That sense of overcoming an obstacle and being successful gives you further strength to face that next challenge, which will be bigger and higher and further out there in your career. And it will allow you to almost like climb a ladder. You keep climbing these steps as you go along, but you can't give up. If you give up, you've defeated yourself, and there's only one person who can defeat you, and that's you. My next tenet is find a larger purpose. In my career, I went into healthcare immediately after business school. Again, I had a mentor who was in healthcare who said that the business of healthcare was to save lives, improve quality of life, treat diseases better than the current clinical practice. So we're benefiting patients, we're doing good for humanity, and that was a larger purpose for me. Our products were not just consumer products and apps on phone and that sort of thing. They were life essential products that made people's quality of life better. So that really has fueled me. I've always been in healthcare. I'm still in healthcare now as the chairman of Tandem Diabetes Care. So what I'm doing in business serves a larger purpose by helping to save lives. Our company, Tandem Diabetes Care, actually makes the artificial pancreas. It is a pump that has an algorithm. It receives continuous glucose monitoring data, and it takes the patient out of dosing of insulin. And so it improves their quality of lives by reducing the number of episodes where they go low or they go high. So it's a very rewarding thing that I do in my companies. And again, it's back to my tenet, find a larger purpose. It will define you as a person and the qualities that you have. And if you look at Ben Franklin's 13 Virtues, he talked a lot about what kind of a character, what kind of a person, what kind of character you want to have, what kind of person that you want to be. Finally, my last tenet is something called no regrets. You want to get to where you are in my life and not have any regrets about what you didn't do. And if you have a passion, if you persevere, if you surround yourself with mentors and peers that can help you, you find that larger person, a purpose, and you achieve what you set out to achieve, you're not going to have any regrets. And I think one of the things that's most remarkable now that I'm at my age is I have friends that I talk to who do have regrets, and it's not a pleasant emotion to get to this point in life and say, I would have, I should have, I would have, I could have. Well, of course we could, but somewhere along the line they lost their purpose, they lost their perseverance, and they lost their way. So that would be my recommendations to do. Again, there are 8 of these life tenets that I have. What I would recommend is you think about finding yours. They should define what you want to be. You should work on them every day and don't give up. Again, perseverance is an important part of this. These are daily habits. This is what you do every day. And if you do it every day, you're going to look back on your career and you're going to feel very rewarded about what you've done. Now, finally, I'll tell you my last left turn. My last left turn is coming back to Peoria. I had no intention to come back to Peoria. I had moved out to California. Supposedly it's the greatest place in the world. And what I found is I started coming home after my father passed away, and I missed my friends, and I missed my family. And I found that there was a larger purpose for me in Peoria. Having achieved what I've achieved in my career, I could now help give back to the community in both charitable ways and investment ways to try to bring a new fabric to our economy in the Peoria community. And you've probably seen many of the projects that we've done. They're interesting projects. For instance, we helped save the Scottish Rites Cathedral and repurpose that theater to be sort of an all-purpose event. That is a landmark built in 1924. It was in danger of being torn down. In Peoria Heights, we turned a former library into a performing arts center, Betty Jane Bremer Center for the Performing Arts. It's dedicated to my mother. That's up and running. It was totally renovated. I think that was about $1 million project, and it gives a new performing arts center to Peoria Heights. And again, this is my left turn, but I love this left turn. And I'd like to end by just reading a little poem to you, and it's called The Road Not Taken. If you haven't read it, you should. It's Robert Frost. And it starts out, it says, 2 roads diverge in a yellow wood. And sorry I could not travel both, and to be one traveler, long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. So he's standing at the crux of 2 different directions I could go, and he takes a left-hand turn. He takes the road not taken. And it's the road that was interesting to him because the grass wasn't worn, where the other one, was a worn path. Obviously, a lot of people had taken that path in their lives. He took the one where others hadn't gone. That's what I've done in my career. I've always taken the road not taken. Congratulations, graduates, and good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Blickenstaff. Now, I would like to recognize those students who have excelled in their studies, beginning their own journey down a road less traveled. I invite you to open your programs and note the distinguished graduates identified by symbols following their degree programs. These graduates received gold cords to distinguish their achievements for today's virtual ceremony. These students have achieved an overall grade point average of at least 3.5 on a 4.0 scale. Those whose overall GPA is in the range of 3.5 to 3.74 on a 4-point scale will have the honors designation. Those in the range of 3.75 to 3.99 will have a high honors designation. And those with an overall GPA of 4.0 will have a highest honors designation on their transcripts. Congratulations to these students for their outstanding academic achievement.
Would Board of Trustee Chair Carl Cannon please join me at the podium? On behalf of the faculty and staff of Illinois Central College, I present these candidates for graduation to the Board of Trustees.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and staff, the Board of Trustees of Illinois Central College confers the appropriate degree or certificate to each candidate with all rights, honors, and privileges thereto.
Thank you, Chair Cannon. At this time, I am pleased to present our graduates.
Rosa L. Ackerman, Shabeli Akra, Andrew Adkins, Antonina L. Albright, Andrea Allen, Jamie Lee Altenberg, Denasia L. Anderson, Dominique Anderson, Imani D. Anderson, Rabel Akib, Danielle Lynn Arnold, Kali Otten, Melody Baker, James William Balfans, Katrina Marie Ball, Caitlin Frances Barnett, Alexis D. Bass, Kaylee E. Batterson, Grace Evelyn Behrens, Crystal Bermejo, Alex J. Bernovich, Jennifer Lynn Beery, Rachel Ann Black, Elizabeth Ann Blackaby, Sierra A. Blake, Shauna N. Bliss, Mariah L. Boley, Michael James Baum, Heidi Lee Bowen, Allison Sarah Boyce, Takelia Denasia Boyd, John Oliver Boyer, Phyllis Jean Brashears, Misty Dawn Bray, Janisha Renee Brittine, Ashlyn Rachel Broom, Candace Elaine Brown, Katora Dajnia Brown, Marcus Brown, Rebecca L. Brown, Sherelle Patrice Buckner, Sophia Nicole Bunch, Lindsay Ann Burnett, Renisha R. Burns, Ashante Quarnish Burton, Madeline Justine Butner, Megan Ann Buttram, Kaylee Cafferty, Tomorrow Cagle Robinson, Kylie Ann Cagwin, Shelby L. Cahoe, Stephanie G. Shu Yu Cannon, Marguerite Cargill, Bradley Carmine, Tatiana Renee Carter, Kaylee Mackenzie Castro, Alana Ashley Cheney, Jalen Isaiah Charlson, Melody Cheney, Kevin Lamont Childry, Trisha Gail Christofferson, Alexius Gabriel Sherelle Clark Hudgens, Tyler Clark, Madison Lee Klaus, Caleb J. Cook, Callan D. Cook, Travis R. Cook, Kristen R. Couch, Robert Crady, William Chrysler, Damon Makiel Crosby, Danielle Nicole Cross, Carolyn T. Crosswhite, Hannah Lynn Croson, Andrea Nicole Davis, Devereaux Jonathan Davis, Siobhan Mara Decker, Lisa Colleen DeCudo, Colin Daniel DeFries, Nathan Dell, Elizabeth Dietz, Hannah M. Dillon, Quest Michael Dobelaire, Andrea Kim Donaldson, Julie E. Dudley, Amy Marie Durham, Megan Nicole Earhart, Alec Garrett Edwards, Benjamin J. Ellison, Jean Ellison, Bethany K. Espinoza. Keith Wesley Fayant. Michael Filipiak. Hannah M. Fisher. Declan Patrick Flaherty. Melissa Sue Flint. Clara M. Foreman. Tony Frank. Emma Franklin. Sherry L. Freeman. Raymond D. Fuller.
Erica Gabriel Cortez. Jessica Michelle Gallagher. Bernard B. Garcia. Myra Ann Garner Hughes. Eric J. Gavin. Tricia Ann Gillette. Monique Shante Goldman. Emily Ann Gordon. Kimberly Shayna Gordon. Nathaniel Russell Graham. Andrew Michael Greenway. Andrea R. Griffith. Phelan Sue Grimm. Sherry Ann Grissom. Grace Nicole Guerra. Eunice Guzman. Megan Elizabeth Haley. Jonah K. Hall. Cynthia Marie Hamilton. Todd Joshua Harburn. Chelsea Suzanne Harkleroad. Jennifer Diane Harms. Cheryl Renee Harvey. Melissa Renee Hauk. Leja Anique Hawkins. Bryce Hayden. Christina Natalia Hayes. Christopher Michael Hayes. Elizabeth Marie Hector. Angela Paige Henson. Amberly LaKayla Herbst. Rebecca C. Herbst. Parrish Higgins. Lucas Klaus Hillen. Trevor Wayne Hipsher. Jennifer Eileen Hirsch. Stephanie Marie Hodge. Rebecca Grace Hare. Ebony Nicole Hobson. Elijah Neal Hobson. Heather L. Hoagland. Jada Hughes. Shane A. Huser. Lacey J. Hutter. Savannah Jody Jackson. Michaela Jerome James. Chantel Angelique Jennings. Hanan A. Juma. Celestine Casanza. Shatana Denise Kelly. Caitlin Ann Keys. Celine Corey. Mark L. Keel. Jacques Makulu Kikati. Shay Brianne Kilgus, Ashley Clunk, Charity Koch, Olivia K. Cole, Corey James Kosher, Kendra Lee Kosher, Megan Quickman, John Michael Lamb, Julia Marie Lambert, Julianne Almaran Lardazabal, Christian Paul Laredo, Sierra Latrice Lawson, Kylie Lawson, J. Michael Leonard, Kristen Dion Little, Joel Litweiler, Stephen Josiah Nathaniel Laurer, Angela K. Lopez, Annika S. Lopez, Chelsea Lowe, Tiffany Lumberry, Deesanay C. Luna,
Sergio Maciel Banda, Dylan Magstead, Samuel McCory, Sarah Malik, Aaron N. Mankey, Maya Brianna Marshall, Masbi Matufuila Masala, Ashley Charisse Matcham, Nupsia R. Imbilampasi, Pateresa Ann McCamey, Kyle Eric McElye, Jennifer A. McFadden, Kendra Marie McGrath, Noah G. McGraw, Patrick Alexander McKenzie, Rosabella Mejia, Rachel M. Meyer, Caitlin Marie Michael, Washaski A. Milliner, Jennifer Lynn Miramontes, Harvey Leonard Mitchell, Mackenzie Rose Moe, Mark Winston Montgomery, Quincy Moore, Renee Moore, Alexis Nicole Morrison, Patrick M. Muunganga, Jenna Musgrave, Nima Ambumbuwizie Mwakatobe, Christopher T. Nash, Caleb Christopher Newman, Latanya Marie Nichols, Anna M. Knopfsinger, Danielle Noel Nordhelm, Glory Makela Insimba, Eric Karamdi Nyaberi, William C. Nyberg, Magda Ruth O'Brien, Brenna Lelia Janice Oates. Taylor Ole. Janine Joan Pagan. Cecilia Bess Parker. Stacy Leanne Parrish. Deep G. Patel. Lindsay L. Patterson. Abby Claire Pauli. Josie Rianne Pauli. Shannon Monique Payton. Julie Beth Pack. Gabriela D. Peña. Hayla Noel Peters. Terry A. Pickett. Claire E. Placha. Gisela D. Porter. Elijah W. Pulley. Amy Marie Quast. Alondra Maria Quesada. Davin Reardon. Kaylee Reardon. Cheyenne J. Redman. Cheyenne Sky Rhodes. Kaylee Ann Rhodes. Aiden M. Richardson. Sarah Elizabeth Ritchie. James K. Rickman. Brianna K. Riego. Cecilia Riley. Michelle Yvonne Robbins. Nicole Marie Rogers. Morgan Riley Roper Fritch. Jada Ross. Melissa Sue Roxby. Jade N. Runyon. Kaylee Victoria Russell.
Renee Annette Sackett. Tatiana Selena Sandoval. Sabrina M. Souter. Emma Victoria Scaff. Chelsea Jasmine Shire. Joseph D. Schoolman. Luke James Schultz. Kara Jane Secretan. Brandy Renee Self. Essence Janae Shannon. Madison Lee Shago. Haley Sue Sheely. Emily Scheidler. Erin Elizabeth Short. Kayla Christine Shute. Fabian M. Silvera. Denisha Simmons. Samantha Jolene Sims. Stephanie M. Sims. Adeline Marie Smick. Carly Danielle Smith, Sharmia Smith, Johnetta C. Smith, Michaela Sue Smith, Stacy Lynn Smith, Sophia S. Snow, Jorheen A. Spradlin, Elena Stringer, Fantasia K. Stokes, Nicole Ashley Straker Curtis, Chanel J. Stuckey, Hank Jacob Stuff, James M. Sullivan, Rebecca Renee Swanson, Colin W. Swanton, Jasmine M. Taylor, Chloe K. Thacker, Alexis J. Thomas, Michael W. Tyne, Janetta K. Tillman, Carmen Torres, Christina M. Trailer, Adaobi J. Ujari, Emily Van Beveren, Dara K. Van Buskirk, Emily M. Vance, Taylor M. Van Etten, Shania Vasquez, Jessica Aaron Vick, Kristen C. Vick, Shaylee Danae Vogel, Liberty Elise Volmer, Montoya C. Walker, Candace Walrath, Tenaria M. Ware, Taylor Jane Watson, Matthew Weber, Brianna Weinman, Ashley S. Weitzel, Jennifer Weitzel, Camille White, Taji Shamar White, Jacqueline D. Whitfield, Tessa Kenzie Wiesbrock, Deshaun Williams, Emma Williams, Kelsey Christine Williams, Melissa Ann Williams, Roseanne W. Williams, Alyssa Nicole Williams Blake, Kristen N. Willis, Jamie Winder, Megan Windish, Mark A. Wachinski, Dylan Wolf.
As is traditional at commencement, ICC's vocal jazz, under the direction of Julie Clemens, will now perform Illinois Central College's alma mater, entitled Ancora, Imparo, which means I am still learning.
On a hill above the river, nestled in the wood, teaching students through the years how honorably you stood. ICC, our alma mater, though we must depart, will remain your sons and daughters deep within our
every season faithfully you open up your doors.
Eager minds both young
shining bright with knowledge in the heart of Illinois. Oh, you enable higher education, hope and joy. Education, hope and joy. Proud alumni, fiercely loyal, will remember you. Our alma mater, ICC, in all we hope to do. Daily we will build a better future for tomorrow. Thanks to you, I am still learning. Ancora Imparo.
Thank you, Vocal Jazz, under the direction of Julie Clemens. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Having completed your graduation requirements and received your diplomas, you, as the 2020 graduates of Illinois Central College, have earned this moment. Graduates, please stand and turn your tassels to the left side. And finally, I would like to leave you with a poem that Mother Teresa reportedly had written on the walls of her children's home in Calcutta. You may know this poem or a variation of it, but I think this advice is appropriate for our graduates today. Graduates, if you could remain standing and say with me the word anyway at the end of each stanza. People can often be unreasonable, irrational, and even self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of being selfish or having ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you are successful, you will win some unfaithful friends and some genuine enemies. Succeed anyway. If you are honest and sincere, people may deceive you. Be honest and sincere anyway. What you spend years creating could be destroyed overnight. Create anyway. If you find serenity and happiness in this world, some may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today may be forgotten tomorrow. Do good anyway. If you give the best you have, sometimes it will just not be enough. But give your best anyway. Because in the final analysis, this is all about who you are, and it was never between you or them anyway. We are so proud now to recognize you as alumnus. Congratulations and best wishes.